It's for you.
I can't do this.
Hannah, you so can. You're wearing your lucky hot shoes. He gave you extra sprinkles. He didn't. And if you don't do something soon, you're going to look freaky.
Would you like to grab a drink later?
I love that.
Great.
Be cool.
Can of Worms is classified M. It contains some coarse language, sexual references and adult themes. Channel 10 recommends viewing by mature audiences. We also warn you that some viewers may be offended by the opinions in this show. But that's half the fun, isn't it? Good evening, I'm Dicko. Welcome to Can of Worms, the show that's not afraid of a good old-fashioned cage rattling. Tonight, we'll pop the cork on teenage drinking and wonder out loud just how much honesty is too much honesty in a relationship. To wrestle these subjects to the ground and charge through our moral minefield, three very different Australians. First off, the most famous comedian to ever come out of Alice Springs. A mother of 5 and occasional foster mum, she has, much like another special someone currently reading this auto cue, faced her fair share of battles with a demon drink. Please welcome Fiona O'Loughlin. In the middle is the 25-year-old co-host of Astereo's Hot 30 Countdown. She describes herself as upfront, goofy, sassy, a video game addict and single. We describe her as Maude Garrett. Third guest is a twice-married grandfather set to turn 70 this year. He ran the Carlton Footy Club, one of the world's largest breweries, and was once touted as a possible Prime Minister. Give a warm round of applause to John Elliott. And finally, my glowing co-host, who shall be bringing us all of our fantastic Roy Morgan national polls, Meshel, Laurie.
Thank you, Dicko. Thank you very much. God, hasn't the country gone absolutely berserk for Don Burke?
It was Burkamania, wasn't it?
It was Burkamania. Don Burke has just, like a phoenix from the ashes. The entire nation is in love with Don. People who were too young to see Burke's backyard are in love with Don. People who saw it and thought it was a bit naff are now in love with Don. Let's have a bit of a look at it now.
I love nothing better than a good fuck. Fuck? Fucking oh, fucking great. Fuck you. I think you're fucking great.
I know. So there's Facebook pages now dedicated to Don. Some of them suggesting, John, that he should be our Prime Minister.
Don't be so ridiculous.
Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. We are Can of Worms TV on both, John. And just pay attention to the hashtags on the bottom of the screen if you want to talk to us on Twitter.
Time to crack open tonight's first refreshing Can of Worms. Almost 10 years ago to the day, I was packing up my English house and preparing to move my family to Australia. Now, I remember being so excited to be moving to a country with such a vibrant drinking culture. Little did I know, 6 years later, I'd be a raging alcoholic, down in at least 5 bottles of wine a day, and struggling to keep my life together. Now, I don't blame Australia for my failings as a man, but this country does have a very odd love-hate relationship with the grog, especially when it comes to young Aussies and their drinking habits. It leads us to our first big worm of the night. Strong views and honest opinions are what we're after. Sitting on the fence is forbidden. Start with a yes-no to this, our first worm of the night. Should you allow your 17-year-old to drink alcohol? Yes or no? You got 5 seconds. So we got 2 no's and a yes. Now, Fiona, when did you first taste alcohol?
I didn't drink till I was 18, probably even closer to 19. I took to it like a duck to water when I did. But I actually didn't really have a problem with drinking until about 6 years ago.
John, what do you remember of your parents drinking?
Well, neither of my parents drank at all until my father retired at the age of 62. Then he got, enjoyed the wine, he'd have a sherry and things. So I didn't have a drink till I'd gone through university, till I was 21 years of age.
21 when you had your first drink?
I made up for it since. I've got to run a brewery or two.
Maude, tell me about the first time you got blind drunk.
Year 10 in high school. Every weekend, everyone would just have parties and you'd go there and you would binge drink.
How drunk did you get?
Whew. Well, that's the catch. I was only allowed a 4-pack of alcohol and that was it.
By who?
My dad bought it for me.
Your dad, at what age?
16, 17.
Your dad bought you a 4-pack at 16?
That's all I was allowed, though. And my mum totally disagreed with it. But my dad and I had a really good rule with it. He goes, I will buy you 1 4-pack and that's it. But if you drink anything more than this, or if you binge drink and you, go over the top, I'll stop this and the privileges will be gone and you won't be able to go out.
Sounds like you didn't need the 4 to get drunk.
I only needed 3. I used to sell the 4th one.
Fiona, how much do you think drinking is an integral part of the Australian culture?
Yeah, definitely, it is. And I think your dad and you were lucky. Handing a kid the okay to drink under the age of 18, I reckon it's like handing a kid a stick of dynamite and a box of matches. I didn't know this until I had my own battle with the booze, that if you drink alcoholically for enough times, it's like poking a bear, and kids are drinking alcoholically at this point.
What's alcoholically?
It means setting out to get drunk,
right,
and doing it continually over and over again.
You've got 5 kids, yeah?
Yeah.
And a mixture of boys and girls?
Yeah.
So what were the rules in your house for your kids drinking?
It was just that you don't... I mean, they have done it, there's no doubt, but that's up to them.
Probably more than you know, though.
Yeah, but it is... not so much more than I know. They went to boarding school, which freed me up from my own drinking. But... and I know that they did have, benders, but I think that is beside the point. It is up to me to say no.
John, how many kids have you raised?
I got 5.
And what were the rules in your house for drinking?
Well, until they left school, no alcohol. Basically, 18 was the standard. But I'm certain nearly all my kids had a drink before then, but they certainly didn't expose it to me or any of my wives.
Wouldn't you rather know, though? Wouldn't you rather be
Well, they didn't get into any trouble.
Did you have a harem?
Well, you could say that.
Maude?
Yeah.
We know that teens are risk takers. Why would you add alcohol to that mix? Why add drinking to planking?
It's...
Because why would you plank if you weren't pissed?
Exactly. It's called yoga. The teenagers are going to do it anyway, whether you let them or not.
Can I just say, praise the Lord that planking came in after I gave up the piss. I'd be in a wheelchair here,
Well, Maude...
Still planking.
Maude, what if I was to tell you, these are figures from the Australian Drug Foundation, 1 in 5 16-year-old Australians will be drinking at binge levels.
Yeah,
right?
no, I believe it.
Now, why would you support a stance that's going to push kids towards that?
I feel that if you don't say and have that rule, you know what, have these drinks and that's it, you're going to go out there and go, right, I need a drink and I need a drink now. Everyone else is drinking, I've got to be in it.
But isn't it about the effect rather than the number? So you were drinking until you were drunk. And I hope you don't mind my bringing this up, but a mutual friend of ours told me about an accident you had drinking.
I'm sitting on the wrong side of you.
I've got a 7 in my leg.
Hey, hands off, John, hands off. Yeah.
So were you adhering to the rules, your dad's rules?
Well, no, that was when I should have been much more responsible. I did this only 2.5 years ago. And, yeah, that was after a binge drinking episode. I fell through a glass table and I got 20 stitches in my leg.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. If that's not a wake-up call, God help me, and it has been.
John, how can we teach our kids to drink responsibly if we don't show them?
Yeah, well, I've got friends of mine who used to, when they sat down for dinner, they'd give their children of a younger age half a glass of wine with dinner.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I don't think there's a lot wrong with that, but I think the risks are too high. And I think, you know, what you've said is exactly right. The older you are before you start, the more responsible you can be.
I remember, I think it was my father-in-law, a very wise man, though, and he said to me, far too late for me, but he said, and it's true, drunkenness should only ever be the accidental consequence of conviviality.
That is such a good point. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Otherwise...
Fiona, what about teenagers being teenagers, bloody-minded teenagers? If you impose a zero-tolerance policy with alcohol, isn't that just going to act as a red rag to a bull?
I think I must have been just very, very lucky. I've still got 2 to go. There's a 16 and 13-year-olds still to come. But so far, the older 3 I haven't really had those dramas. I think teenagers are getting, kids in general, are getting the worst deal of kids in the history of kids.
Why?
Because we don't shut up about how hard it is having them. Parenting is the hardest job in the world. Bullshit. It is not. It's a joy. You know, that's such an insult to people in hospital right now sitting next to their terminally ill kid. That's the hardest job in the world. If you've got healthy children and you're breathing in and out and life's good, shut the...
Say it.
Just shut up about how hard it is. No wonder these kids are getting pissed.
Spoken like a foster mother. Yeah. Spoken like a foster mother. Yes.
Now, look, after the break, we'll reveal the results of our Roy Morgan National Poll. Plus, Can of Worms correspondent Dan Elliott heads out to sell Aussie parents on the idea of a booze school for kids.
Do you let them drink at home?
Not at all.
You don't? Why not? You stupid Aussie.
In a country with the most unforgiving terrain on the planet
comes one of the toughest competitions ever filmed.
From the producer of Survivor,
The breathtaking new series, Expedition Impossible.
6:30 Saturday on 10.
During development, we'll thermal test a car to see how every part of it reacts when pushed to its limits. It may seem excessive, but that's how we test for quality. That's what makes it a Toyota.
What's inside this bottle will change what you think about the flu forever. Clinical studies have shown that Sambucol can cut the duration of flu symptoms by up to half. Sambucol attacks the flu virus and stops it from multiplying, so it doesn't take hold. So you can get better up to twice as fast. So if you've caught it, Sambucol it. If you're sick of it, Sambucol it. And if you want to get over it, Sambucol it. Get better up to twice as fast with Sambucol.
This is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible.
One of the best action sequels made.
Mission Impossible 2, Saturday on 10.
Welcome back to Can of Worms. Should you allow your 17-year-old to drink alcohol? It's something all of us mum and dads wrestle with, so Dan Elliott bunged on his best French accent to pitch parents the virtues of booze classes for kids.
Hello, how are you today? Very good. Now, do you let your teenagers here, do you let them drink at home?
Not at all.
You don't? Why not? You stupid Aussie. So, what we have is a French booze school. It's a college d'alcool. Here you go. So this is actually a school to teach these children how to manage drinking. Yeah, teenagers, yeah. Very good. Don't worry, they are only allowed to buy like 5 or 6 glasses of wine, 8 at the most, because we do not want your teenager to get, how do you say, face of the shit, is it?
Shit-faced.
What?
Shit-faced.
Shall we give him his first hangover? He'll get a big bounding head, and then he learns how to deal with that. Yeah, does that sound good to you?
Nah, I'll be right.
He's too young.
Too young.
No, never too young to start. Never too young to start. And you see, in France, we start drinking early. So we have this. This is only like...
Maybe.
Yeah, wait. You don't worry. It's only like 3% alcohol. It's not enough to get pissed. Do you think this is a good idea?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, I think it's a very good idea.
Do you drink at the moment?
No.
Would you like to learn?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
You happy to sign him up? Yes, of course, I'm happy to say here. Is this something that you think should be put in the school curriculum?
Yes, bloody oath. They need to have one for drug and alcohol.
Yeah, so that would be the next course.
Oh, excellent. I'll sign up for that one for sure.
Il est très méchant, no?
That's French for flaming galah. We're asking, should you allow your 17-year-old to drink alcohol? John says no. Fiona says no. Maude says yes. Now, John, if you ban your teenager from drinking and they go out and do it anyway and end up in some strife, aren't they less likely to come to you for help?
I think the longer you don't give them a drink, the better off you are.
But that could go the other way. The longer you hold it against them and don't let them have it, they could be like catching up to
If they don't have any respect for their parents, then I think you've got to earn that respect in other ways.
To disrespect my parents. It's a peer pressure thing. You do it because your mates are doing it. You're not trying to please your parents, you're trying to fit in at school.
Yeah, well, I do think the age of drinking has come down in the last 15 years for young kids.
Maude, teenagers want everything. They want it now. Would you support giving your kid cannabis?
Oh, no, because
So
that's...
What's the difference?
Oh, I was just about to say, because that's illegal, but so is underage drinking.
Don't tell me your dad had a rule, 4 joints, I know. Your dad's so cool.
What does our audience think? We've got a pair of twins in the audience who are 16 years old. Josh and Ben, where are you? What do you think about this?
Well, I think that you should be honest with your parents. And so when you do go out and drink and you might have a few drinks, making sure that you don't keep it a secret from your parents, you keep that trust.
What are the rules in your house?
Our dad will let us have a few beers. He knows what it's like Maude's parents, I guess. The main thing is, if you're open about it, I think then your parents can take the opportunity to teach you to do it in moderation rather than binge.
How many drinks are you allowed? You say a couple, but how many does your dad allow you at 16?
Well, for example, we were playing poker the other night at home and...
Gambling and drinking.
And Dad actually said, you can all grab a beer if you want, and only Buggerlugs here grabbed one. And so...
But did your dad also say, get one for the stripper, son?
So is your dad here?
Yeah, he's
behind us.
Oh, there he is.
You've heard the argument tonight. You're not concerned that you might be pushing your kids towards binge drinking?
No. The idea was to take the novelty out of it and to teach us, all about alcohol and what the dangers were and, and how to handle it.
Do we have Joanne?
Why do we have to teach them a drinking culture before they're ready? We don't teach a 6-month-old to walk. We wait until they're ready. They're into risk-taking. We don't need to add alcohol to the mixture.
And I guess the difference is 6-month-olds don't have other 6-month-olds going, oh, God. But can't walk. Look at this idiot.
I just noticed with including the audience on this discussion, us Gen Ys, we're all kind of on the same page with this. So I'm starting to think maybe it's a generational thing, and you guys have got to start catching up.
We've heard from you, we've heard from our audience. It's time to hear from the nation. Meshel, you've got the polls, yeah?
Yes. Every week, Dicko, we commissioned Roy Morgan, the nation's leading polling company, to ask folk from every state and territory from ages of 14 to 65 just what they think on the issues we discuss. Here's what they had to say about alcohol. Should you allow your 17-year-old to drink alcohol? Oh, sorry, teenage booze hounds. 59% said no. Although that hasn't stopped nearly a third of parents supplying grog to their own 17-year-old. Either way, we tend to start young. About 1 in 5 of us first got on it when we were 15 or under. It appears to be the Aussie way. A massive 90% of you think drinking is a part of Australian culture. Oh, the other 10%? Oh, they were too off their face to answer. Here's another one for you that we found. 70% of us have never seen our parents drunk. But if we have, it's most likely to have been our dad.
Thanks, Meshel. Thank you so much for being honest on this tricky subject. Give these guys a ripple. Come on. Coming up, a worm that may well tear your relationship apart. In a good way. But next, our guests take a tour of duty through our moral minefield. You're with Can of Worms.
The war they didn't see coming.
Now, it's up to Prince Arthur to save this great kingdom.
Arthur, there's too many of them. You'll never make it.
I won't leave my father to die here alone.
New Merlin, Sunday on 10.
As Gatorade Replay continues, the men of Maryvale and Old Collegians are being truly tested. After 20 years, they've only got 7 weeks left to find their footy skills again, to find the athlete within, and replay their 91 Grand Final Classic.
It's like getting to ride a bike again. Once we get used to it again, we'll be riding it fairly strong.
Like riding a bike, more like a bucking bronco as this brutal campaign takes its toll. Give them your support at GatoradeReplay.com.au.
Baby Jasper has all the comfort and flexibility of a big sofa at a compact price from only $2,990. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King Furniture at the winter sale ends soon.
Did you know that every Car City vehicle also gets free 12-month extended warranty, free 12-month roadside assist and the option of LP gas conversion? Why on earth would you go anywhere else? Car City, corner of Great Western Highway and Carlisle Avenue, Minchinbury.
$350.
Come on, Lloyd, you know you can afford them. Interest rates are steady.
Not to mention the fact that they're Australian-made. And mate, your bum looks great from here. Check it out.
Awesome.
I'll take them. Great. Good choice. Winning.
You're back with Can of Worms, where it's time to man up and fix bayonets as we venture into our moral minefield. Now, the rules could not be simpler. You pick a category, answer the question honestly, and then we'll tell you if your answer is in tune with our recently polled studio audience.
If our studio audience says yes, you'll hear this. And if they say no, you'll hear this.
John, you go first, mate.
What are you going to pick? One of these,
Yeah, you've got to pick a category.
Rules and regulations.
Have you ever shoplifted anything?
Never.
Never?
No.
Why not?
Because I was brought up that was the wrong thing to do.
Never tempted?
I was tempted a couple of times, but I didn't.
What would you have stolen then?
Oh, I would have been a couple of songbooks out of Mars or something, but I didn't.
A songbook, you old romantic would-be thief.
I thought this was rules and regulations. We ought to have a period in Parliament where instead of them making rules, we have about 5 sessions where they get rid of them. I mean, people are being totally constrained in this country.
OK. Well, John said he has never shoplifted anything. What about our audience? Oh,
wow.
59% said no. They've never shoplifted anything, which means 40-odd% are thieving bastards. What you want it? OK, you're next, Maude. What are you going to pick?
Sex. Yeah. I've done that one.
John's glasses are fogged up.
Well, I'm just remembering what it's like.
Yeah.
OK, Maude, would you let your partner film sex if you knew no one was ever going to see it?
No.
No?
No. No, because no one ever doesn't see it. What guy wouldn't be like, I have a gold mine on my phone, you know?
Why do you think it's so popular amongst your age group, then?
Why it's popular?
Yeah, what's wrong with you people?
Why do you want to film it all of the time, Maude?
I don't.
Yeah.
I've got friends that have.
Really?
And I've seen them.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't. I just
What do you
don't.
mean you've seen them?
Hey, check this out of my boyfriend.
Maude, I want to know whether you learned anything.
No, I didn't learn anything.
Oh, that's good. How about you, John? Did you get the old moving pictures out?
No way, Jose.
Come on, John, everyone likes a film with a happy ending, mate.
Definitely not.
OK, we asked Maude if she'd let her partner film sex if no one was ever going to see it. She, of course, said, no way, Jose. What did our audience say?
Oh,
58% said no.
So there's...
We're still prudes, in a way. Yeah.
OK.
Yes, Fiona, there's 42% that
Yeah, I was trying to do the math.
Yeah.
Sick bastards.
Fiona,
we know there's 58% of the women in this room and 42% of men.
Good point, good point. Check out my body language. I'm terrified. I don't like this part of the show.
OK, well, you got 4 to pick from, Fiona.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
I'll go body.
Body. Fiona, is it OK to make fun of rangers?
Absolutely.
Maude, would you take the piss out of a ranger?
I've got a confession, and I am sorry, ladies, I am, but I have to say flame on every time I see a ranger.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it OK to make fun of rangers? Fiona said yes, of course. What did our audience say? OK, we've got 3 left. John, what are you going to go for?
Religion.
Religion. This one comes from the set of MasterChef, where contestant Kate Brax, a Christian, refused to call the Dalai Lama His Holiness because she believes that only God is truly holy. Now, this is your question. Should you call the Dalai Lama Your Holiness if you're not a Buddhist?
Yes. I think it's perfectly right. He's the head of another religion, and I think he's an outstanding man, to tell you the truth.
Now, we actually have our very own Buddhist, Meshel, Laurie.
Yeah, you've made me so happy, John. Thank you.
Why?
Thank you very much.
You've met the Dalai Lama,
Yes,
Meshel.
I did a gig with him a couple of weeks ago.
Does he arc up if you don't call him Your Holiness?
No, he's the opposite. Firstly, English he's still not great at, so a lot of the time he doesn't know what you call him. It's handy. And secondly, he hangs out with a lot of non-Buddhists, so he's really cool about whatever you want to do. He's that kind of dude, you know?
OK, well, John would call him His Holiness, of course, if you met the Dalai Lama. What did our audience say?
Yeah, John!
Good.
77% said yes. How respectful you are. OK, we've got 2 more. What are you going to pick, Maude, race or relationships?
I think I have to take relationships.
Should a man pay for everything on the first date, Maude?
Yes. And it kills me to say that, but that's their first impression.
What happened to feminism?
Oh, that comes on the second date.
You'd be an old-fashioned guy, you'd pay for everything on the first date, John?
Yeah, and every date thereafter.
Well, you are richer than God, it's fair enough.
Was.
Divorces.
OK, Maude said a guy should pay for everything on the first date. What did our audience say? Yes.
But only just.
OK, we got 1 more, Fiona. It's yours. Race.
Race, OK.
On your mark. Should we acknowledge the traditional owners at official events?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Because it's respectful. We walk on very sacred land. We're walking on a religion wherever we are in this country.
I think you're absolutely wrong. It's sheer bloody nonsense.
What do you think about that, John?
I think it's nonsense. It's only come in the last several years.
So
you go to church, and I was in St Paul's Cathedral the other day, and there's the dean of the church. For the first 5 minutes, all he did was talk about the Abbos. We were there, Indigenous people, sorry. Not allowed to use that word.
But you did.
Well, that's how we've grown up and talked about them. But I know it's changed, and I'm sorry for them. But I was there to attend a funeral of one of my friends who died. And I just thought it was totally inappropriate.
Who does it hurt to take 5 minutes to say, I'd like to thank the traditional owners of this land and pay respect to the elders?
Well, it may not hurt anybody.
Past and
Some people
present.
might get a kick out of it. I think it's totally unnecessary.
You are not alone. In many of your generation, I've had this, you know, a similar conversation with blokes around your age. It was almost like anger. And you know what? Anger is generally fear in disguise. You're afraid of this. Why are you afraid of it?
I'm not afraid of it. I just
Yes,
don't
you
think you
bloody
need
are.
to
You're
do it all the
afraid.
time.
Well, Fiona said she would acknowledge the traditional owners at official events. John said no. What did our audience say? 67% agree with you, Fiona. Would you please give them a big round of applause?
We've got our second worm coming up in a moment. Believe it or not, that was not it. Make sure you're part of the discussion. Just use the hashtag you see below.
Thanks, Meshel. Do you ever lie to your partner? Did you answer no? Was that a lie? We'll tackle that next on Can of Worms.
Australia's biggest renovation show is finally here.
Are you ready?
It all begins 8:30 Sunday.
The clock is ticking.
We're kicking off with 5 big nights of spectacular challenges.
We want to see you push the boundaries.
I need to be wowed.
The renovators have arrived.
And the big week begins 8:30 Sunday on 10.
The Choose Temper mattress sale is on now at Domain. Temper, voted top mattress by Choice Magazine's member survey. And Domain are celebrating with amazing deals. The Temper Original Queen mattress, now $17.99. The new Temper Cloud Queen mattress, just $27.99. And the Domain exclusive Crown Queen mattress, only $34.99. Plus buy now and you could win back the cost of your bed. Don't miss the Choose Temper mattress sale on now at Domain.
You know what it's like running your own business. Forever working in it, not on it. Never enough time for your family or yourself. A Westpac banker knows how to help small businesses stay in control so that things don't get out of control. We know how to help you do that. Westpac is Money Magazine's Business Bank of the Year 4 years in a row.
Westpac, Australia's first bank for business.
So, if you know what, a Westpac banker knows how.
Imagine 5 ordinary women who each encounter a star. Imagine each of those stars singing.
Judy Garland, singing for me.
Imagine one woman playing all 10 roles.
And there was Patsy Cline.
Bernadette Robinson in Songs for Nobodies.
Breathtaking.
Magnificent voice. You must see her.
Limited season from August 4. Book now.
Welcome back to Can of Worms, where it's time to serve up our second big worm of the evening. Now, this worm is for all of those couples out there snuggled up on the couch. Think you're in a trusting relationship? We're going to put that to the test right now. Have your yes, no's at the ready as we ask you this, our second big worm of the night. Is lying good for a relationship? You got 5 seconds. Is lying good for a relationship? John says yes. Maude and Fiona say no. Now, what do you lie about in a relationship, John?
Well, when I used to have to go shopping with my wives and partners and my partner, I'd go into the shop and be dressed and she'd go and put it on and say, do you think that looks nice? I couldn't care less. I said, yes, of course it's wonderful, only so I could get out of the shop quickly. So I think those sorts of lies are help for good relations. But I think in the end, if you're on really big issues, then the relationship will end if you don't tell the truth.
So, Maude, has telling the truth ever backfired in a relationship for you?
Yeah, I love the ones where the ex-boyfriend goes, now, I'm going to be honest with you, and remember that honesty is a good thing. I cheated on you. And you're like, oh, OK. No, you dumped, there's a door. So, I mean...
In essence, it's not a... You know, it can't be good for a relationship to lie, but I am a compulsive liar. So it was, I lie like I breathe. Like, I lie so much I don't know what the truth is anymore. Like, seriously, and it's been going on for a very long time.
So you're trying to go straight now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm trying to go straight.
Would you like to change your answer?
No.
Is lying good for a relationship?
I don't think it can be good. In its purest form, a relationship should be built on trust.
That's it.
But
Better off telling the truth.
So I don't think there is a proper answer for this. I'll stick by my original answer. But human beings, you know, it's a sign of intelligence to lie. Anyway, so the first thing you do as a kid is lie. Who touched that? Not me. Smart. You know?
John, the women say they want honesty in a relationship. What's so wrong with honesty? Why can't you give it to them?
Well, I think these trivial examples I used just make a woman, your partner, feel better. And I think that's good for her.
Also makes your life easier. It's the old happy wife, happy life scenario.
That's right, exactly.
Then don't you worry, she'd be lying to you about a credit card account too.
She uses her own chance more than I do.
I get mine sent to another address. Oops,
what?
Just...
Really?
What address? And my sister's address. Now we have to change it to another one. There's just things, you know, that aren't worth the argument. They aren't worth the energy, so lie.
Take a little look at this picture from London. Is Pippa's bum still better than mine? Now, I'm hoping for the sake of the royal family that's not Will's car.
So that's an angry girl.
That's a very angry girl, I would say.
No, that's a very angry lard ass.
No, but why on earth wouldn't this guy have just trotted out one of John's little white lies and everyone would have been happy?
There's a great comedian in Australia, his name's Lawrence Mooney, and he had this line, his wife said to him, does my bum look big in these? Does my bum look big in this? And he said, in those jeans or in this room?
John, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Big Arnie, married for 25 years, has just been hoofed out of the house by his wife because he had a kid with their housekeeper. Over 25 years now. What do you think would have hurt the wife more? The affair, the love child, or the years of deception, John?
I think all of those things, but probably the years of deception. So he shouldn't have told her.
Don't we have a much better, quieter life if we lie?
Yeah, it's a good point. If you just keep lying, though, you know, the person's falling in love with someone else because you're just putting out false things the entire time, and that scares me.
Tonight I celebrate my love for you.
Hold on. Touchdown! I've always wanted to do that.
Nice try. Nice try.
But look, I've got to say, I know I'm going to sound like a real ne'er-do-well here, but I wouldn't have done half of the awesome things I've done in my life if I hadn't lied.
The thing is, though...
I mean, it's true.
I thought you were going to say, if it hadn't been for the love of my wife.
No, it's true. And the lies I told to her, you know, I'm serious. I love my wife to bits. We've been together 25 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is to do with the fact that I lied through my teeth so I could end up doing the things I wanted to do.
In all seriousness, Dicko, not all of those years would have been bad. It's not everything goes in the shame box, surely. You would have met some extraordinary people and had some extraordinary times.
But why
And you would have needed to lie to keep the fun happening.
You'd be lucky when you get home tonight whether she lets you in the door.
But Fiona, you're now arguing that lying is good in his relationship.
Yeah, I am...
Would you like to change your answer?
No.
Is lying good for a relationship?
I don't think it can be good.
Are you still a no? Are you still saying lying's no good for a relationship?
Yes.
That's so funny because this entire time you've been saying it has...
Yeah, I know.
OK. Do you want me to change?
Yeah, change.
OK, I'll
come on,
change.
come on, get off the fence and come clean.
Yes.
It's good for a relationship. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. OK. When we return the results of our Roy Morgan national poll, men, be warned. We may not be as good in the sack as we think. But first, we asked a collection of couples just how they deal with the tricky topic of telling the truth.
Yes, essential.
I don't think I've told Catherine a lie in 25 years.
I'd like to say no, but I think it's a yes as well. I think lying is not good in a relationship because I think honesty is one of the main things that make a relationship work.
I mean, yeah, the trust issue, if you've seen them lie once or twice, it'll literally apply to everything that they tell you from then on.
The romantic in me says, you know, you should tell your partner everything. But, you know, we've been together for 21 years. And sometimes, you know, you don't need to tell them everything.
If people are actually deliberately telling a lie, then how do you ever trust them about anything else?
I hate to say it, but I think straight people like really feel compelled to just tell all the time, and it's not good for them. That's why the divorce rate's so high.
Finale week is so close, they can almost taste it.
You are our top 5 amateur cooks for 2011.
They know each other's strengths.
They know each other's weaknesses.
What is this? So the judges have devised a mystery box challenge that will mess with their heads.
Not everyone is playing nice. Ali's totally stitched me up.
MasterChef, Sunday on 10.
In a collision, you might as well be made of glass. So we've developed the total human model for safety. With simulation software so advanced, we can test the impact on the entire body, even your internal organs. That's what makes you safer. That's what makes it a Toyota.
Things get a little bit harder when babies start to stand, especially changing nappies. Now Baby Love nappy pants can help. With a 360-degree stretchy waist, no tabs, pull them straight up for a comfy fit. Baby Love nappy pants.
Unpredictable weather can ruin any style in an hour, so we've developed the first ever sunsilk range designed to control frizz and protect your hairstyle from the weather all day.
Weatherproof your hair with Sunsilk Frizz and Weather Defense by Teddy Charles.
You're watching Can of Worms. Now, divorce lawyers' phones around the land have been ringing hot since we asked, is lying good for a relationship? Now, Fiona was a no, but she's owned up to being a bit of a pork pie merchant. Maude is still very much in the no camp, and John is a committed pants-on-fire dude. Now, we are going to ask you a hypothetical here. What if your partner asks, after a steamy lovemaking session, John, how was that for you? And frankly, wasn't all that good. Would you lie reassuringly or tell the honest truth?
Oh, I'd lie reassuringly.
But this is a situation in which your lovemaking could improve, John, if you were to tell the truth and say, to be honest, babe, it didn't really...
It must be her fault if I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. Obviously.
I have had a fantastic love life with my 3 partners in my life, and nobody's ever criticised me.
Oh, nobody here doubts for a single second that you are a maestro in the bedroom, my friend.
Now, Maude, how would you deal with this?
It's happened. A good relationship means that you have good sexual chemistry. And if that lacks, it needs to be addressed. And I've actually told someone that they weren't up to scratch.
Did you sugarcoat it?
No. No, I didn't.
And what happened after you told him the truth?
Oh, he was in denial about it. He's like, I think it's great. And I'm like, I'm really disappointed. Yeah.
If you're in a sexual relationship with your partner, a woman...
Yes, Maestro.
You've got to make her come first.
Oh, dear
That's
God.
the job of the man.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son,
The older you are, the better you are at that.
Is that right?
Because you slow down a bit.
What do you think about this, Fiona?
Oh, I'm blushing. No, I'm actually blushing. I think this is another generational gap, and I don't really have strong opinions on this. It's just embarrassingly honest, right? I am from a time and era where you quickly got on with the job and did not ask questions after.
But if you're going to do it, it's going to be good.
It's embarrassing enough taking your pants off, let alone talking about it.
Well, I have to say, my wife has absolutely no problem telling me when I haven't passed muster. That's why I look like a beaten man. So.
Oh,
Well, thank you very much for your strong and very open views, but I'm dying to hear what our audience has got to say on this matter. We're asking, is lying good for a relationship? Does anyone want to say anything?
I was actually dating a guy for about a year and a half or 2 years. Probably about 9 months into the relationship, he told me that he lied about his age and that he was married beforehand. My boyfriend now tells me, like, I'll ask him straight out, does this look ugly or do my shoes match? And he'll tell me straight out, which is good.
You're walking around looking like an idiot. You're walking around with unmatching shoes. I mean, someone should really tell you that.
Anyone else?
I believe lying can be good to an extent in a relationship, but there is a line where you shouldn't be lying. When it gets to physical features and things you can't change, it should stop there because it's just derogatory comments, really.
Can I pose a question to you? Say you're in a long-term relationship and your partner starts to get really comfortable and puts on a lot of weight and you start to realise that you're just not attracted to that person because they're not who they used to be. Can you tell them and be open with them and say, I don't like how you look anymore?
Well, in that case, I guess that's okay because...
Is it? Because she wouldn't want to hear that.
Yeah, she wouldn't want to hear it, but it's reality and it is something that you can change if you really try hard enough.
You just say, you need to lose a little bit of weight to get back to what you were like 10 years ago.
But also, that'll charm her. That'll work. Write that down. It's brilliant.
Thank you guys very much, and thank you to our fabulous guests for being so open. But what do you think about this? Meshel, you got the poll figures.
Time again to see what the country's leading polling company, Roy Morgan, found after asking people from all around the nation exactly what they reckon when it comes to lying in relationships. Here it is. Is lying good for a relationship? Well, clearly we can handle the truth, as only 29% said yes. We're just not very good at it, guys. Nearly 3/4 of us have caught our partner out in a lie. But hang on, we still do it all the time. Men are more likely to lie to their partner about their appearance. I call that a sensible lie. Women are more likely to lie to their partner about their sexual performance. That's a kind lie. So basically, you tell us we look beautiful, we tell you you're the best we've ever had, yada, 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 whilst both of us are probably just banging someone else on the side. 2 out of 5 people say they would lie to save a relationship, though. They would lie to save a relationship.
Thanks, Meshel. After the break, we'll read some of the cracking worms sent in by you and hand out our much-coveted Voice of the People trophy. Still to come on Can of Worms.
Australia, we need to talk.
Is lying good for a relationship?
The relationship will end if you don't tell the truth.
I am a compulsive liar.
Monday after the Renovators.
What does this opinionated Polly really think?
Find out when he joins a funny man and a surfing champion.
As they face this week's Can of Worms.
When the only answers are yes or no.
There's nowhere to hide.
Can of Worms, Monday after the Renovators on 10.
Imagine flying with more legroom than ever. Imagine personal service and the comfort of tailored leather seating. Welcome to business class, flying Virgin Australia coast to coast, where luxury and service are always close at hand.
Wars are fought with weapons, but they are won by men.
You just don't know when to give up. I can do this all day.
Our goal is to create a new breed of super soldier.
How do you feel?
Taller.
Every army starts with one man.
Captain America. Only at the movies from July 28.
You're with Can of Worms, where it's time to embrace people power. Over the last few weeks, we've received a ton ton of great ideas for worms and moral minefield from our viewers. Meshel, you've been sifting through them and you've got the cream of the crop there.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I've got some interesting ones, Dicko. From Facebook, Daniel Rogers suggests that we talk about this one. If we are a free country, should we be able to wear nothing at all in public? Come on, guys. Suma Patra, also on Facebook, says, if we need a licence to drive on the roads, should we also have to get a licence to earn our rights to be parents?
Ooh.
Interesting one.
Probably not, because I'd have had mine rescinded by now.
Josie Zemlani.
Those cyclists, they're the ones that need a licence. They go every which way. They go up right on the footpaths. They're a disgrace.
We'll be sure to invite you back for that one, John. And Josie Zemlani says, is it OK to pick your nose in public? So there's a spectrum there, Dicko. There's the spectrum. Please get yourself on the spectrum and suggest some worms and, you know, moral minefields and all that to us on Facebook. We are Can of Worms TV.
Well, we have learned an absolute ton about our three guests tonight, but what have you learned, John?
Oh, well, we've got to deal with the great unwashed public. I've done that all my life. There they are, sitting out there. No, I've had an enjoyable time.
OK, Maude?
John's very scary. you scared the hell out of me, mate. I'm not gonna lie. If you're not yelling at me, you're singing poetry at me.
How about you, Fee? What have you learned?
I've learned a lot, and I just leave with a hope that you have a therapist out the back. It can be a quick one over.
Well, give him a big round of applause, please. Now, in the last break, we polled our studio audience to find out who is going to be this week's Voice of the People. Which of you has a life view that most matches that of our studio audience and wins this fabulous trophy that's not yet dry? And with 53% of the vote in our studio audience, our Voice of the People is... It's you, Fiona O'Loughlin.
Oh, is it?
Do I get to keep this?
Yeah, does that surprise you?
Well, yeah, I don't need the therapist now. I'm right.
Certainly doesn't surprise me. She did all the talking.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Please thank Fiona, Maude and John. The fantastic Meshel, Laurie.
Thank you, Dicko. And a quick reminder to check out our special encore screening of this episode this Friday night on Network 10. If you can't quite believe what just happened, watch it again.
Australia, we really do need to talk. And next week, we're going to find out if the pot can still call the kettle black as we hook into racist humour. Our censors are having conniptions at the very thought of it. Until then, you've been watching Can of Worms. I'm Dicko. Good night.
Hello everybody, my name's Robin Holt and I've been the editor-in-chief of Vogue Living magazine for over a decade. So style is my life. What I really want to see from you is your style shine through with your personality. Throw the style book away. Surprise us.